Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our 30-day English practice podcast. This is day 16, and we're focusing on a quick grammar fix that many A2 B1 learners find confusing. Simple past versus present perfect. We've all heard examples like, I went to London last year versus, I have been to London. Which one should you use and when? That's what we'll tackle today. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear sense of how to use each tense correctly and confidently. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Sam. Yes, the difference between simple past and present perfect can be tricky for learners who are used to just one past tense in their native language. Often, the confusion comes from whether an action is completed in a specific time frame or if it has relevance to now. Let's break it all down. Part 1. Why simple past versus present perfect matters. When we tell stories or talk about our experiences, we often jump between these tenses. For instance, describing a trip you took last year, I went, versus talking about your overall life experiences, I have traveled. Choosing the correct tense makes your English sound more natural and precise. It also helps listeners understand the time frame and context of your actions. Example, I went to London last year. A completed event in the past with a specific time mentioned. I have been to London several times. Indicates experience. No specific time stated.
Yes, exactly. So, let's start by clarifying each tense individually, simple past and present perfect. Then we'll compare them side by side. Part 2, the simple past. A. Form. 1. Affirmative. Subject plus verb in the past form. Regular verbs often end in ed, e.g., played, visited. Irregular verbs have unique forms, e.g., went, ate, saw. 2. Negative. Subject plus, did not plus base form. Example, I didn't go, she didn't see. Third questions. Did plus subject plus base form? Example, did you watch the movie? Did he travel last week? B. Usage. 1. Completed actions in the past. With a specific time marker, like yesterday, last year, in 2010, etc. Example, I went to the store yesterday. She studied in France last year. Second sequence of events. Example, I woke up, had breakfast, and left for work. 3. Duration in the past, with a clear start and end. They lived in Spain for 2 years, 2005 to 2007. Now, they live elsewhere. C. Examples. I visited my grandmother last weekend. We didn't eat out because it rained heavily. Did you watch the new movie last night? Remember, simple past is tied to a specific past time or a finished period. If you mention or imply when something happened, simple past is likely correct. Part 3. The present perfect. A. Form. 1. Affirmative, subject plus have or has plus past participle. I have visited Italy. She has gone to the library. 2. Negative, subject plus have or has, plus not, plus past participle. I haven't finished my homework. He hasn't seen that show. Third questions. Have, has, plus. Subject plus past participle. Have you tried sushi before? Has she arrived yet? B. Usage. First experience. No specific time mentioned. Example. I have been to London. She has tried skydiving. We don't say when, just that it happened at some point in life. 2. Recent events. Just happened. Example. I have just eaten. He has recently moved here. Often used with just, recently, or already. 3. Ongoing situations. Started in the past. Still true now. Example. I have lived in New York for 3 years. They have known each other since 2018. The action or state began before now and continues in the present. C. Examples. I have eaten Indian food many times. No specific time about life experience. She hasn't visited us in a while. We don't say exactly when she last visited, it's indefinite. Have you seen my keys? I can't find them. Refers to now. The keys are currently missing.
Exactly. Present perfect often links the past to the present context. Meanwhile, simple past is about finished actions in a finished time. Part 4. Comparing simple past versus present perfect. A. Time markers. Simple past. Yesterday. Last month. In 2020. When I was a child. 2 weeks ago. Present perfect. Ever, never, so far, up to now, yet, already, just, recently, for, a period of time, since, a point in time. B. Examples side by side. 1. I went to London last year. Focus. A completed trip in a specific period, last year. 2. I have been to London several times. Focus. Life experience, indefinite times, not specifying exactly when. 1. I lived in Paris in 2019. A finished action, specific year. 2. I have lived in Paris for 3 years. Ongoing situation, maybe started in 2020 and continues. C. Correcting common mistakes. Error. I have visited London last year. Fix. I visited London last year. Simple past because we mentioned last year. Error. I went to London many times. Not necessarily incorrect, but usually we use present perfect for indefinite experiences. Alternative. I have been to London many times. Experience.
Yes, that's one of the biggest pitfalls. If you mention when something happened, use simple past. If you're talking about experiences or indefinite time, use present perfect. Now, let's show a quick dialogue to make it more concrete. Part 5, Dialogue, choosing the right tense. Hey Alex, have you ever traveled to Italy?
Yes, I have visited Italy once. Actually, I went there in 2018 with my family.
Oh, nice. Which cities did you see?
We went to Rome and Florence. The weather was amazing and the food tasted fantastic.
Sounds great. I haven't visited Italy yet, but I have been to Spain a few times.
Spain is awesome. I have never tried Spanish tapas, though. Maybe next time I go, I'll explore more local dishes.
Definitely. By the way, have you seen Anna recently?
Yes, I saw her yesterday at the cafe. She said she hasn't studied for her exam yet, so she's nervous.
Poor Anna. Well, hopefully she'll find time to review soon. Here we see how Alex used present perfect. I have visited Italy once. I have been to Spain. For experience in indefinite time, but switched to simple past for specific visits in 2018 and yesterday. Anna's exam studying is relevant to not done yet. So, present perfect. She hasn't studied for her exam yet. Part 6, Practice Plan, Day 16 Edition. A. Written exercises. 1. Make 5 sentences in simple past, using specific time references, e.g., last night, 2 years ago. 2. Make 5 sentences in present perfect, talking about your life experiences or actions that have relevance to now. B. Mini interview. Ask a friend, have you ever tried sushi? When did you try it? They respond with a present perfect sentence, then elaborate in simple past for details. C. Record yourself. Tell a short story about a place you've been. Use simple past for the time-specific details, and present perfect if you mention how many times you've done it or any general experience. D. Grammar check apps. Tools like grammar checkers can highlight if you used have plus V3 incorrectly with a time expression like last year. Notice those corrections to build awareness. E. Consistency. This is day 16. Keep reviewing your older notes on grammar and speaking. See if you can mix present tenses, past tenses, and now the present perfect seamlessly.
That's a perfect plan. Consistency is key. Once you see these tenses in action regularly, it clicks. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Correct them, learn the difference, and move on. Part 7. Common pitfalls and quick fixes. 1. Using present perfect with finished time. I have seen that movie last night. Incorrect. Use simple past if you mention last night. 2. Overusing simple past for experiences. I went to France many times. Usually, I have been to France many times, if indefinite. 3. Ignoring the ongoing aspect. I lived here for 5 years. Could be correct if you no longer live there. If you still live there, say, I have lived here for 5 years. Mini dialogue. Checking a friend's grammar.
Did you say, I have seen that movie last week? That sounds off.
Right, I should say. I saw that movie last week. Because last week is a finished time.
Correct. Perfect usage.
Part 8. Conclusion and wrap-up. A. Key takeaways. 1. Simple past. Finished time periods, specific dates or moments. Example, I went to Spain in 2019. 2. Present. Perfect, indefinite time, experiences or actions that connect past to present. Example, I have visited Spain at some point in my life. 3. If you mention when it happened, typically use simple past. If you're discussing experience without specifying time, or it's still relevant now, use present perfect. B. Final encouragement. Mastering these tenses may take practice, but the difference is fairly straightforward once you get the hang of it. Listen to native conversations, notice how they say, I have, or I went, and replicate that usage. You'll soon find it natural to shift between them depending on context.
That concludes day 16. Quick grammar fix, simple past versus present perfect. We hope this clarifies a common confusion in A2 to B1 grammar. If you enjoyed this or have any questions, please subscribe or follow. And if you're on YouTube, leave a comment with examples of both tenses. Practice is everything.
Yes, share your sentences in the comments. Let's help each other fine-tune our usage. Tomorrow is day 17, so stay tuned for another essential English topic. Until then, keep practicing those tenses and remember, grammar is a tool, not a prison. Let it help you express your ideas clearly.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you in the next episode. Happy studying.